Hello everybody, Drew here. Tip of the Mitt Flips, where every 100 subscribers, there's a giveaway. So if you're watching, make sure you subscribe so you have a chance to win. I have 9 orders going out today for about $265. So pretty good and not a ton of packing, so that's my favorite. Little work, a lot of money. First thing going out is 10 of the Lego Harry Potter advent calendars, which unfortunately I don't have the right size box for, so I'm either going to take one of these Walmart mediums and just double it up and make the box a little bigger, which is looking like what I'm going to have to do, or wait till tomorrow to double check Walmart again and see if they have the bigger size. Problem with that, not the box, because that's, easily fixable, is I should have thought of this before, but it's only happened to me once where it kind of messed things up. And so I, of course, just ignored it and forgot about it. When you have a multiple quantity of something, you have to be a little more specific on the weight and dimension, because then when they buy a bunch of them and eBay adds it up and charges them whatever the shipping supposedly is, they're going to estimate wrong. And for me, what I do when I'm listing anything is say it's going to be 1 pound and approximately 12 ounces. I just put 1 pound, 1 ounce, because once it's in that range, it's the same price. Anything from 1 pound, 1 ounce up to 2 pounds is that rate. So I don't really care to find out exactly what it's going to be and weigh a box and add the packing material. It's not really useful or necessary because it's going to be the same price as long as I have a good idea of what range it's going to be in. But when that adds up by 10, you can kind of see how that could be a problem. I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue. I'm pretty sure there's enough, but also I didn't have these listed with a FedEx option or a UPS option. So it says that they're going priority. I'm not going to send a priority. I'll send them a message, say the cheapest way I could do it was sending it through this or whatever, or the best way or the safest way, all the above. And I've never had a problem. If there was a problem, I guess I'll deal with it and it'll be my issue to deal with. But for 10 of them, I took an offer and I got $180. Sorry, I got a bit of a cold going, or allergies or something. Normally, I was being pretty stingent on... Stingent? That's not a word. Stingy on my pricing on all the advent calendars because, for one, the other 2 kinds I had, the family, friends or something, and the city, I think it's friends and city, those sold out almost immediately at the price I had them listed. And then the Star Wars ones, which this is the last one, I was raising the price because they were selling regularly, and every time I raised them, they'd still sell, and I'm down to 1. The Harry Potter ones weren't selling. And then I also was thinking, once things are starting to get busy closer to the holidays, I don't need to be packing up an extra one of these every other day or every day just to make a couple extra bucks. So I said, sure, let's get them all out, $180 plus shipping. I'm okay with that. And also, while I'm thinking of it, Jason, if you're watching, thank you so much for the tip on the advent calendars. Like I said, I'm down to just this Harry Potter one. And if I lowered the price by $1, it'd be gone today. But I just want you to know that that actually means a lot to me. That help pay my bills, that help put food on my table. Those things mean a lot to me. So Jason, thank you. Next thing up on B1, antique leather photo album and photos. I think it's gonna be difficult to get to. I don't know if you heard that, but my hip just popped. Hopefully it pops back. All right. I picked up a couple of these at a couple of old photo albums at, I think it was Salvation Army. And I was going to get all the pictures out and individually list all of them and blah, blah, blah. But that just seemed like a lot of extra work. So I listed them as is, took as many pictures as I could. They're not in great shape. They have some damage to them. The other one was better because it was labeled and it said like what locations these all were. They were all Michigan and Ohio, which makes sense because I live in Michigan. But it was pretty cool. The other one, like I said, much cooler because it was labeled Beaver Island, I think was one of the spots. And what were some of the other ones? I guess it really doesn't matter. But there were places I recognized. And so that one went for a little bit more money as well. $32 plus shipping on that one. After that, on C3, Revereware 1.5 quart. ABC 3. It's got to be this one, I think. I don't know. I'll double check though. But it's the only one I think sitting there, so it's got to be that one. That seems cheap for that one though, but either way, $7.99 plus shipping. And then, and again, how I'll check, just to double check, is the stamp on the bottom. You can clearly tell by the wear exactly if it matches up or not, since I have so many of them. And then on C1, vintage Revere wear, copper bottom. All right, C1. Oh yeah, way in the back. And both of these went to the same buyer. It didn't actually combine shipping, but I'll see if I can save them a couple dollars. But something I did over the weekend is I reduced the price of all of my Revereware, Corning, Pyrex, all my cooking ware and pots, pans, dishes, all of it by $1. I didn't care if it originally was $50, if it was $9.99. I didn't care. I went through all of them. I reduced them by $1, and I immediately sold these two. So I can't tell you if it's actually working or just coincidence at this point, because I mean, it's just two pans. It did happen immediately, but it was at the same buyer. But my thought was, because I do calculated shipping on them, is that by reducing them all by $1, that's going to take the area that's going to buy mine over someone else's out a little further. Because, of course, someone would rather pay shipping in their own state than to pay shipping across the country. That's where the dollar difference is. So I thought that might be something. In a couple weeks, I'll be able to tell if it actually helped, but I figured it was worth a shot. I'll let you know how that goes. Next, C1A, Technosource Illuminated Sudoku. C1A, oh, that's this. It's down in here, because I don't ever get into this bucket. This is old stuff. Stuff I should probably double check that the listings are correct. It's got a lot of dust on it. But actually, when I found this, I got excited because I had watched a reseller say that on Amazon, he was getting like 30 bucks for those things. So I found one and was like, oh, great. I'm not going to sell it on Amazon, but I'll get money for it. But on eBay, they're not worth that much. So I don't know if he was making things up, which does happen. I don't know if you're aware of that. People do make things up on YouTube just for the views. $9.99 free shipping. So I've had that listed for over a year to get barely any money, and I probably paid a couple bucks for it. So not worth it at all. And speaking of not worth it, Disney's Chicken Little for the Wii. I got this with a group of games, so it's not like I paid up for this one and then shouldn't have listed it, but once I have it, I gotta list it. But right there, Chicken Little for the Wii, in really good shape, but probably not that great of a game. Movie branded games usually aren't that good. $6.99 free shipping. And then A2A vintage Tupperware Servalier lid in the orange right there. And I did have the bowl for this. I donated the bowl and listed the lid. It wasn't worth it. It was $1 more, $2 more with the bowl. So I said, nah, that's not it. And also the bowl had those like weird melty microwave marks in it. So it just wasn't worth it to me. And then on A1, oh, did I say how much I got for that? $11.99 free shipping for the lid. And then on A1, vintage Revereware 8.5-inch lid. And I said I was going to move these because they're in a stupid spot. And do you think I did it? No, of course not. And that, I think, is it. But I'll have to double check. And after that, this one just came in. Most Def, the Danger or something. Here we go. Most Def. This is actually pretty good record. I like this one. Record. Album. CD. $5.99 free shipping. And I haven't sold a CD in a while, so that happens when you list a lot of something. You will sell a bunch of it, then you'll sell a little bit of it, then you'll sell none for a long time and slowly whittle it down till you get through all of them. That's all the sales for today. Like I said, very easy to pack. I mean, this is nothingness. And then I'll see if I can fit these together. If not, I'll just have to ship them separate. But I think I can figure out a cheaper way to ship those together and save them a couple bucks. Did a little bit of work in the garage. The floor if anybody can remember, it has a large jump from here to here from in cold weather states, cold weather areas, because the freezing and the thawing, stuff like this is very common. Lots of breakage of cement and stuff. So in order to have where I don't fall out of my chair, I'm trying to somewhat smooth out this transition. So at least it's a ramp instead of a cliff. But because it's so bad, I have to do it in layers so it can dry properly. So I threw another patch on it. I think one more through, I think I can get it done. And that way I can get the desk together and really get back to getting the garage done before it gets too cold. I picked up this Mr. Christmas this week. If you see Mr. Christmas stuff, it's worth it. I paid 15 bucks. I don't think this works. It doesn't have a power cord. It looks pretty rough. Definitely needs a cleaning. The mechanisms that these have in them is basic. Usually it's a belt drive and a rubber band. And the last time I had to repair one almost exactly like this, it was a ski hill, and I just ordered the rubber band, replaced it, boom. And I think I also had to order a power source for it. I'm not sure on that, but either way, I'll either check and see if I have the right one. But if I do get it working, that's 115 bucks, somewhere in there, 100, 150, somewhere in that range. So a good buy. Even if it doesn't work, I think I could get 50 bucks for it because someone else will fix it. And so today, the tip of the day, usually I try to be a little fancy and excited about the tip of the day, but this one's a little more serious for people that sell on eBay. The reason it's been so long since I had a video, probably, unless I get it out today, it'll be over a week. Which I might be able to get it out today. Like always, eBay's update, the last one that just happened at the beginning of the month, the beginning of fourth quarter, you dummies, was just a catastrophic debacle. Just the worst ever yet. It luckily didn't affect me too much in my store. If you sell a lot of pottery, dishware, that's about the only thing in my store it affected. Dishware, paper products like greeting cards or postcards. What was some of the other? Dolls of any kind. They messed with the categories again. They messed it up. Listings weren't showing up for people. And like I said, luckily for me, that's why I took a whole day off just trying to figure stuff out and make sure I was good. Luckily for me, I don't have a lot of things in my store that it's going to affect outside of my dishware, which I will probably the rest of the day today go through and change the categories and fix them. When they mess with me, I'm annoyed. But I don't really have a better... I've said before, Mercari is not as good as eBay yet. Amazon is a different thing. Also, to get ungated on all the things I sell on Amazon is impossible. I could get ungated on some of them, but I also, as one employee, one person running everything, I can't list on multiple platforms. I've already figured that out. That's not possible for me. I just can't keep up with it. It'd be too many emails, too many things to track. Can't do it. So what I did is and here's the tip. Tip of the day, have a backup plan. For a lot of people, I heard from a lot of other resellers I talk to, all this kind of stuff, their backup plan is starting to list more on Amazon, starting to put more things on Facebook Marketplace, all these kinds of things. For me, my backup plan is I looked into all of them. I saw how much work it was going to be. I picked up my guitar and I started practicing a little bit because I am a gigging musician. I haven't done it in a while, but I could go book a gig today. That's not a problem. It's something I've done for over a decade. So I picked up my guitar, played a little bit, said, okay, backup plan is I should probably book a couple gigs, maybe one a month. Just to be sure, just to be safe, to have a safety net, just to have a backup plan. But for everyone else, your backup plan is going to be different than my backup plan. But you should have one. Doesn't mean you have to actually do something, but it shouldn't be when an emergency happens that you have to be in an emergency mode. You should be able to transition, or at least have a foot in the door, or at least have the knowledge, or at least have your accounts already ready. Start the process of having a backup plan, because eBay they're messing up. They're messing up bad. And the scariest part was, for me, because I'm somebody who is, as a hobby, am very into macroeconomics, stocks, crypto, things like that. That's my hobby. That's what I watch in my free time. That's what I read in my free time. eBay stocks going down. Every other selling platform up. Every other stock is going up. eBay's is going down. So even the shareholders, I'd mentioned that before, that all they care about is shareholders, and now even the shareholders are being upset because the stock is going down. Also, the profits they've been showing, the increased profits they've been showing, are not profits from the platform. They are profits from sellers. So instead of increasing how good the platform is or increasing how good it makes it for sellers to put on more products and sell more products and do better for them as a collective, which is what it should be. It should be a working together, not an employee-employer situation. Instead of that, they just keep attacking the seller and just tacking on more fees and then adding that stupid, what is it called? Gallery view thing, which is you're literally just bidding to be a higher advertisement thing. I don't even want to go into it. It's stupid. Don't use it. Please take my advice. Don't use it. It's a scam. Unless you are a corporation that's selling a lot of one item, or you have a lot of new items, it's worthless. It does not do any good. I actually, out of, what would you call it, protest, I normally do promoted listing. I do promoted listing at 1.1% because I figure why not? 1% to promote my listings and 1.1 to get me above all the other people that do 1%. I took my promoted listings off. Will that matter to them? No. If a lot of people do it, would it matter? Yes. Because now that I'm 100% aware that their profits are coming a lot from fees and all that kind of stuff, instead of coming from sales, from making your sellers happy and wanting to sell more. Because right now I'm selling literally as little as I can to stay consistent. Whereas when things are working well and it's a cooperative, I am all for it. People want to work hard when things are working properly for them, and when they're not, they're disgruntled. So why would I try any harder when I could just make money more somewhere else? Because one of the major misconceptions of resale is that when you're doing it part-time and you're putting in 20 hours a week, and you go, okay, well, I'll just do it full-time. I'll double how many hours I'm putting in and my money will double. No, there's a delineating value to how much return you get per hour. So if you're working 40-hour weeks and you're like, well, I want to make more money, let me just work a 60-hour week. That might make you only a 10% income increase putting in that extra hours. So it doesn't always work out like that. I've actually been working less and making the exact same amount of money because I've figured out that the extra time and effort I was putting in wasn't getting me anywhere. So I know it's kind of a downer. It's one of those things. Should be back on track for making regular videos. I just had to take the time to make sure everything was right, get my store right, get my information right, make sure I wasn't just taking my info from whatever. And which, if you don't follow the Auction Professor, you should. I do not find his channel entertaining, but I do find it informative. And I don't know if he'd be offended by that. I think he might still be okay with me phrasing it that way. Not like he watches my channel or anything, but he has great information, but I don't really find it that entertaining. But he's one of the only resellers that I actually watch on a regular basis because it does help me in what I do. So again, sorry for the downer of a tip of the day. I'll promise a more upbeat one next time. But that's going to be all for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, go ahead and give it a thumbs down. Subscribe, share, and be good to each other.